So please do tell me a little bit about yourself, and we'll have a chat while I'm trucking away. The other thing you may notice is actually the one thing I have changed recently is my truck. I've now got a 750 Volvo FH16, which I've just traded in for a Peterbilt actually, which is a mod. But let me just show you the truck. If this there we go. So that's what I'm pulling, an oversized load of tyres. But also it's got the, yeah, it's a Northern Lights paint job. It's actually an add-on. It's a DLC add-on from SES. So I thought, particularly as it's wintry, that would be quite good. And it works really well with the Let It Snow mod that I've got. So I thought that was quite appropriate. So that's what I've gone for. Yep, Northern Lights, that's what it's called. So I'm guessing you've been channel hopping between streams and you finally found mine. I'm glad you did. Oh dear, that's beginning to sound like a film. In all the streams in all the world, you walk into mine. Yeah, I don't know if you want to get that close. Oh, heck. I'm having to go in the snow to avoid that car. Oh, Memphis, okay. Cool. Mind you, what's the weather like in Memphis? Because I know a lot of America is gripped by this very Arctic cold blast at the moment, aren't they? I'm getting used to this truck again. Wow, the power of this thing is amazing with a 750 horse. This absolutely pulls like a train in comparison. Right, so minus 17 with a wind chill. Oh my word. I mean, that's Fahrenheit, so that's really, that's incredibly cold. Well, over in the UK, it's more a case of what tends to happen is we're getting the weather systems across the Atlantic. So if it snows at the moment, whatever snow you're getting over there is turning into rain over here, because it's milder at the moment. So a lot of the country is flooded. A lot of the south of the country is just underwater. Imagine there's some people in the US going, what global warming? What are you talking about? It's really cold up here. 10 degrees. Sorry, before you came to stream, I drove a mod, which was an old classic Peterbilt, and that was incredibly noisy in comparison to this. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. I mean, oh my goodness, what was it? I had an ex-fiance from New York, and it seems like, you know, I think what is it they say in America? It's not a petrol head, it's a gearhead, I seem to remember. And yeah, they had a really nice Mercedes. I think it was a 320 with a V6, and yeah, that shifted. But yeah, it seems like the average car has about 200 horsepower. Here, 200 horsepower is considered quick. I mean, even my car, which is an old classic, actually, it's about 15 years old. It's got a 2.5 litre V6 engine, which puts out about 170 brake horsepower. You know, in the States, that's probably just below average. Particularly some of the Americans. Yeah, grease monkey or gearhead. Mind you, I've always thought that if you use grease monkey, it's more of a term for a mechanic than anything else. You got a 16-year-old with a 350 horsepower Mustang. My goodness. Wow, that's quite something. I mean, to give you some idea, over here, you could probably just get away with if you're at your age, first of all, you wouldn't be driving a car at 16 in the UK. The minimum age to drive a car in the UK is 17. And then to cap it all off, I mean, you're looking probably something like a Vauxhall Corsa. To give you some idea, that has something like a 1.2 litre engine, or a little Fiesta, like a very small compact car. And even then the insurance would be easily £1,000 before you even think about it. Easily. And even then that's third party. So that means that basically it just pays for the third party's damages. So you have to deal with the damages to your own car. It's incredible, really, when you think about it. But my word, 5 litre. Woof. I think the biggest, as far as the car with the biggest engine I've driven, It was a... Actually, it was an MG, and it was a ZT260. Now, that particular car had a 4.6 litre V8, and it was a Mustang V8. And that had about 260 horsepower, but my goodness, did that shift. I mean, it was on a manual gearbox. I think you would class it as a stick shift in the US. And it was a bit sluggish in first gear, but as soon as you put it in second, that was it. It was off. I remember I was hands-free. I was taking a call hands-free with my friend, and I just remember the conversation went from very calm to all of a sudden going, "Oh my life!" It was quite something. Wow, 99 vet. Whew. Yeah, I bet your tyre dealer. I bet your tyre dealer loves the wheel spin as well. Goes, oh, there we go, more money. Thank you very much. Right, so we're in Gothenburg already. That was nice and quick. Yeah, in comparison to that Peterbilt I was driving earlier. Because as much as I like driving automatics, manuals, correction. As much as I like driving manuals, the car I actually have is an automatic, and I've driven automatics for years now. But I'm more into sort of bigger, sort of more luxury cars than anything else, or modern day classics. But that doesn't mean I don't like anything that's quick. Absolutely not. I know. I'm a bit of a car nut, as my girlfriend will testify. Mind you, so she. I think, what was it? Her ideal car is something like an Evo. So that gives you an idea. Yeah, autos are really nice, particularly for sort of cruising around town when you don't have to change gear as much. But there's something really visceral about changing gear in a car. You know, there's occasions I'll borrow my girlfriend's car. And even though it's a lot less powerful than mine, there's something about the pleasure of changing gear in a car yourself. I think the only modification I've ever done to a car is a stainless steel exhaust. I put a mid-sport on my last car. Sounded great, but actually, after a while, I think I got to the stage where, in some ways, I preferred something quiet but looks good. I think it depends upon the car, though. Well, I mean, when it comes to sort of Japanese cars, you're looking at things like what is it, S2000s, Civic Type Rs, or you're then looking at sort of things like Skylines, or the absolutely awesome GTR. That thing is incredible. Just the sheer power of a GTR is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's part of the reason. I mean, my car isn't like mega powerful, but part of the reason I drive the car that I do is because it's something different. It's a rare thing now, the car that I've got. Supra, that would be a good choice. This may take a while. Is anyone going to let me out? Probably not. I'm going to edge forward though. Let's give them a hint. See if anyone takes a hint. Nope. Oh, good grief. Probably just after the transit, I think. Only for another car to come in behind. Oh dear. Yep, absolutely. I think the European market's a little bit different. There is that kind of culture to a certain degree, but not so much because, I mean, in the UK there's so many speed cameras and all the rest of it. You can't do stuff like that. You just can't. Yeah, the only thing is when it comes to speeding tickets here is it does add up to points on your license, and eventually your license will be taken off you. Actually, that's one thing with Twitch. I think they've changed it that there's actually more delay to be between what I'm saying to you and when you actually hear it, which doesn't help things. Oof. Are you brake testing me or something? Cobra is very nice. The other one that apparently is really good is what's called a Roush Mustang. Yeah, we'll actually take a look at the Shelby Mustang at some point. I think I have seen it on Top Gear, certainly in the UK. I think I've seen the US version as well. And I like both, actually. I think they've got very different styles. But I don't get to see the US version that often. No, what are you doing? Thanks. That was very nice of you. Oh, good grief. Honestly. Okay, 95 rolls to run, so we're probably looking about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I will be ending the stream, I think. Despite a few teething problems tonight. Still getting used to this setup and how to operate it, and I think that's the main thing, particularly when you've got a 360 pad. When I was doing rehearsals, that was one of the things I didn't do, was actually play a game and see exactly how I would do things. Oops. Yeah, that's problematic. Now, there's a name I haven't seen for a very long time. Elf. We used to have loads of Elf filling stations in the UK. I don't say we see him anymore. Strangely enough, I'm going where he's going. And by then I've... Oh dear. Yeah, okay. Let's see if I can get around. Yeah, just about. I'm loving this truck. This is really nice in comparison to what I was driving earlier. I have to say, they've done the scenery in Pro Mod really, really well. Don't think I'd dare go any quicker than this. It's quite twisty and bendy in places. Definitely a few twists and turns along the way. Ooh. Certainly don't want to do what I do. Oh, and I've missed my turn. Oh dear. Alright. Looks out of the window and hopes and prays I can take this turn without crashing into anybody. Hard right. Very, very hard right. Come on. There we go. Is this going to be a quarry? Quite possibly. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it looks like a quarry, doesn't it? Even by the access road. I don't know if with this snow mod, whether they've actually added sound. Like sound effects of the truck going through snow. It certainly sounds very similar to a vehicle going through snow, so maybe they have. Yeah, that is one thing. If I change down gear like that, by rights, the rev should pick up on the truck. Or I should get some engine braking of some sort. Where's the delivery point? It's up here, apparently. Okay, so what I can do, I can cheat a little bit here. What I can do here is, I can kind of go round like this. I know, very... Ooh! Is it going to go round? Yes, just. There we go. I can go round and just pull in. That's a really cheating way of parking it, but it works. It definitely works. Right. Okay. That's parked up. Okay, so let's see how we've done. Yes, we get an excellent. That's always good. And a little bit more onto our level. Cool. So I'd like to thank everyone for coming in tonight and watching the show. I'd like to thank the moderators, including Moobot, for doing their jobs and keeping the chat nice and civil for me. So the next stream will be tomorrow, starting at about 8:45 UK time. Until then, take care, enjoy your gaming. This is T-Bone logging off.